All right. Hello, everyone. I'm back streaming on this Azure Functions project for sending out notifications when Twitch streams come online for the PowerShell Live streams. And I've been working on the past few days the feature to uh, send out notifications for upcoming events. So if somebody schedules an event on their Twitch channel, then it will send out a notification a week in advance, a day in advance, and an hour in advance. And that way we can kind of get some discipline around scheduling things in advance, and people can get some heads up on those, uh, and it's just kind of a fun feature to do. So where I left off yesterday was that I was working on the feature, and I put in a pull request and said that I would come back and look at this after having put it away for some time just so I could get some distance from it, come back and look at it with some fresh eyes, and I'm kind of glad I did. I didn't find anything particularly wrong, but I did find some things that I wanted to take care of. So uh, what I've done is I've gone through and I've made a couple of changes while I was reviewing this. The Discord event handler, I just went through and prepended all the log information messages with the Discord event handler name so that we know which function it is when we're kind of like combining logs together. Uh, the this was missing from the Discord scheduled event handler. One of the messages was missing that kind of prepended thing. Uh, Twitch channel, the Twitch channel event process function, the run block, I didn't have that. If you look at this, it was just kind of oddly formatted, so it's mostly just a formatting fixed here. I also just went through and added uh, the so to the uh, which one it picks. So if it's an hour, a day, or a week, adding the start time of the event in the log message. Same thing that I was doing with the unknown, but I figured it was probably nice to have that for the other thing. I was also missing the Twitch channel process in the no, no, that's fine. Uh, it was up here. Yeah, that's what I did. The Twitch name, I wanted to include that along with the ID of the event. That way it's kind of easier to track down which Twitch channel the um, event was being processed for. Uh, and the Twitch subscription ad, uh, this one I just prepended the log messages with the Twitch subscription ad. I figured while I'm making a bunch of changes in some of those older functions or previously made functions, I shouldn't say older, they're not that old, um, but I figured I might as well make the logging changes in them while I was in there. It's not going to hurt anything, they're just text. Same with the Twitch subscription remove, updated that since we were already in there and making changes to it. This one had the wrong function name in the uh, log event, so I fixed that too. Um, so some of this is just some like clerical work, and this one was missing the function name in that string. So that's all I really updated. Everything else is the same, so mostly it's just updating log messages. So I'm going to do a commit on this and push it up and then double check the PR and then hopefully merge it and uh, watch it deploy the new features live. So I'm going to name this commit log message changes because that's the majority of it. There's a formatting change in there, but that's fine. So going back into Firefox now, I need to reload this PR, make sure that it's got new commit there, log message changes is listed. Um, I'm pretty confident that this didn't do anything other than what I needed it to, so we'll just run through this really quick. Make sure there's not any deletes in places where I don't expect them to be. It's looking good. Yep. So everything looks good. Uh, we just need to wait for the build to complete on this. I'm going to go ahead and approve and set it to autocomplete. I'm going to go ahead and squash the changes into a single commit. I thought about keeping them all separate into separate commits, but hi Glenn. It's nice to see you so early in your morning. Anyways, I thought about, speaking of Glenn being here, one of the practices I discussed with Michael was about how Puppet does their commits, and they actually do multiple commits in a PR, and then they maintain the commits, and that requires some good grooming of the, yeah, keep them separate. Requires some good grooming, but I've now groomed the commits on this like 20 times, and I'm sick of doing it, so I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm just gonna uh, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm only the yeah yeah, I'm the only maintainer. That's why it's limited value right now. Yeah, you know what? Might as well live large. So I kept the history. Uh, uh, so it's got all the commits in there. That should be good. Now should be getting another build and release going on for this. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying, Glenn. Like 100%. Like, and I thought about that too. We do squash merges at work, and the reason why is that we would have to we just don't have the level of discipline in our team yet. A lot of people are very new to source control and Git, and pull requests and all that kind of stuff. And so it results in them having like a bunch of commits that are just like fixing a typo or something like that. And uh, grooming commit history is kind of um, it's like it's a 300 level topic, and these guys are like 100 and 200 level. So it's kind of rough. So okay, so this is the build completed, so it should be waiting for me to approve it to release to production, and we're gonna let that go. Kind of get Do I have? I don't. Get logged into Azure so I can have a look-see. And then also in here, I'm going to start the log stream on the function. Just so I can see if I can capture it. Sometimes, like during the deployment, sometimes it survives the deployment, sometimes it doesn't. So it's hard to say. Well, already disconnected from log streaming. That's awesome. It's probably doing the deployment right now. Let's go back into rebuilding. No, so it is an idempotent deployment. The underlying infrastructure does get deployed every time, but it's idempotent, so it doesn't redeploy anything on the infrastructure side. And then the app does get deployed because you're making an app change every time anyway, so it gets deployed. So if you haven't changed anything in the app, then yeah, there's nothing. But pretty much every time I do a release on this, it does a full stack deployment. So it looks like it's up and running there. This is probably the infrastructure deployment piece though. If we go to Firefox and look at the deployment process, refresh. You're not going to show me all of it. There we go. Yeah, it finished the infrastructure deployment piece. Uh, it's actually, so I'm using ARM, which is, it's not declarative, right? Well, I don't know. I always get mixed up on these terms, right? But ARM deployments are like idempotent, so it goes and then application is doing this. And the storage piece is something I created because queues and tables don't get deployed. And since I did add new queues to the lineup there, it did say like um, adding a queue because it didn't exist, and then yeah, table already exists, so there was already a couple that existed, but it created a few queues that were not there before. And now the app deployment is finished on there. And come back here, I've disconnected from the log stream again. I'm probably not going to get anything interested. Anyways, the app should be deployed and running. Let me look at it in Firefox just to look at the portal. The Twitch streams, notifications, resource group. So this is the resource group. This is all the infrastructure that was not touched, except that there was one change, a couple of changes. There was some new app settings deployed with this. So if I go to platform features and look at application settings, the new queues were deployed in here. I don't remember which ones they are, but Discord event notifications is one of them. So, and Discord schedule event message template is one of them. So those are new. Uh, I've got the new functions are here. So Twitch channel event lookup, Twitch channel event process, Twitch schedule, get subscription, and those. So those are all there. Of course, they're not going to do anything because it's triggered by an hourly job. So it's not going to do much of anything. I could go ahead and run this one because it's not going to run this hour. So, but it's probably not going to find anything of real note. And I'm not going to see much in here because this one just basically does some lookup. Can I scroll down? Can I expand this up? Is there no way to make that bigger? That's sad. All right. There's not much to this because it's just queuing the available subscriptions. But I probably caught something on the log stream, assuming that it stayed open long enough. Yeah, so there's some stuff going on here. There's one event out there that's, this is an event. This is a person, data display, description offline. Okay. Pretzel Rocks has died on me again. That's amazing. Oh well, silence it is. Channel event lookup ran. Some stuff here. Yeah, it's not, there's no events to actually do. And I don't want to schedule a event just for grins because that'll send out notifications and that's just kind of lame. So there's no real nothing really to report here, but it does look like everything is working as expected. I'm not seeing any errors. All the various pieces of the components are running like we saw yesterday. So yeah, a lot of pieces to go through. It does do a lot of lookup and queuing. It's a lot of parallel stuff that goes on between all of it. So that's good though. It's up, it's running. Um, the other thing is that the uh, existing functionality shouldn't be touched. So we can kind of look at that a little bit by doing a subscription deployment on here. So if I go into my builds and do a subscription deployment, queue one of these up. And this will just test some of the other functionality, make sure it's up and running. Yeah, debugging Lambda is a little rough. I don't know if they've added any kind of log stream to it that you can do like easily like in the browser, but you had to like do everything to the I can't even remember. I'm so out of touch with AWS services that their their log service, and you'd have to manually do that. My subscription has lapsed on that, so it looks like that's cool. That's good. The that's weird. Why did that do that? Let me run this again. can always run this like a bunch of times and it should be fairly idempotent. Um, but part of why this one has to run, I have it set to run on a schedule here from the build and release pipeline because uh, the uh, the subscriptions only last 10 days. That's the maximum amount of time you can say subscribe to a webhook. It's quite possible that mine had lapsed, but seeing Michael Green's subscription lapse is weird because he's one of the more recent ones. So try to figure out what's up with that. Yeah, it looks better now. All right. For whatever reason, uh, Michael Green's and my subscription were not being listed on the subscriptions, but they got added back in, so that's good. Awesome. So that's really all I wanted to stream today, just show this being out there and running. Uh, hopefully that hopefully the new feature works. I don't know. We'll have to have somebody actually schedule some events. I think that the Posh Wolf has an upcoming event. Um, thanks for the follow. And the uh, that event will hopefully trigger the day before and the hour before, but that might have actually been scheduled for today, and I might have already missed it. So there might not actually be any uh, events in any of our users yet. So, but that's it for today. Successful deployment, claps all around, new feature in place that hopefully works. And anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back.